Hey scholars, Miss Patrick here. Sorry for those of you who were planning on having class this morning and class would never load for me, so we couldn't do this class together. And for those of you who are in my normally Thursday class, this is just the information that we would have all covered in class together. So I want to start out by just a reminder of the week and what we have been doing and will continue to do for the week. Basically, we're getting ready for that extended constructed response assignment that's due after Thanksgiving. We're in the planning stages, working through step 1 and 2, which was reading the prompt and kind of getting your ideas together with a claim. Step 3, which was looking at some available sources that I have provided you with, but also seeking out sources on your own if you aren't drawn to any of the sources that I provided you with. And then step 4, which is actually starting to kind of outline your 4 paragraphs, and that's the assignment for today. And then at step, well, it's not a final step, it's just the last thing is just to make sure that it's all complete. Because I won't be here after this week, I didn't have you guys turn it in as far as, for a grade, turn in this planning document. But if you want some feedback on any piece of your planning document, I will be around until Friday. So you can always email it to me and I can give you some feedback on that. With that in mind, I want to talk about who you should contact after this week with any questions, concerns that you might have. All right. You are in good hands, as Allstate would say. You have a really good sub coming in. Her name is Miss Wallace. She's taught at GCA before, and she knows all about American literature. She's going to be kind of in charge of your assignments, in charge of grades, in charge of any messages that come from the OHS, emails, that kind of thing are all going to come from Miss Wallace. She is going to have 1 live session a week, just an open office on Wednesdays from 12:30 to 1:30. So if you have questions that can't be answered through an email or a phone call, then you can go to those open office hours with her. As far as your live sessions go, 2 of our veteran American literature teachers will be handling those sessions. Miss Lauren Davis, she will be handling live sessions for honor students. Your session times and things like that shouldn't change. The invite will just be from Miss Davis instead of Miss Patrick. Same thing for all other students. Miss Chambliss will be teaching you live, and your live session invite times and all of that is going to stay the same. You'll just get invitations to class from Miss Chambliss instead of me. If you have questions during this week or that seems confusing to you, then just send me an email or give me a call and I can help clarify all of that this week before I leave. A thing to note here on the screen is that there's no graded work this week, so that you can have time if you need to work on makeup assignments, you can get those turned in and I can grade them instead of having the sub to grade those. All right, so let's move on to a happy reminder about next week, that next week is Thanksgiving and you have the entire week off. All right, so go enjoy your time off. Try to get caught up this week so that really you don't have to think about it next week. All right, so let's look at your assignment. We're going to take a step back. Really, today's class was going to work on step 4, but you can't do step 4 of planning for this assignment without having done step, and really that should say up there where it says step 3, really this is step 2. Step 2 is writing your claim, all right? And remember that a claim is an answer to the question. So the question is, should we or should we not use civil disobedience to break laws or rules that we find to be unjust or that aren't working for us, all right? So the first thing you have to do is answer the question, and then you have to give 2 reasons. And I put in all caps here the word because that's what signifies in your claim that you have reasons as part of your claim. So your claim, remember, needs to have 2 provable, arguable reasons, things that you could find evidence and support for, but that somebody could have a different opinion about, okay? So here I've got some examples. You can use them if you would like. You, of course, can use anything that you have come up with. Also, you just need to make sure that your claim has an answer to the question and has 2 provable, arguable reasons. All right? So let's say you're on the 4 side, or you're in support of civil disobedience, in using civil disobedience to break unjust laws. So here would be your answer, a possible answer, or a way you could formulate the answer. Using civil disobedience to break an unjust law, rule, or law is appropriate because, all right, want to make sure I have that word. And then here are some ideas, because it shows true dedication to the cause. All right, so if you're truly dedicated to the cause that you are fighting for, you'll take the risk of breaking the law in hopes that change will come. So another idea you could have is that using civil disobedience to break an unjust rule or law is appropriate because it is the responsibility of the powerful to protect the weak. So it's going to this idea of it's not just your right, but it is your responsibility to step up, use any means that you have, any civil means that you have, to support those who are being affected by maybe this unjust law or rule. And then the last one, rules are meant to be broken. We've heard that statement, and it doesn't have to be cheeky or rude. You can find examples of where there were established rules or were established laws that really did need to be broken in order to get them changed, okay? So your claim would need to have 2 of these. If you're going to use some of the examples that I've provided, you would need to say something like using civil disobedience to break an unjust law or rule is appropriate because rules are meant to be broken and it shows true dedication to the cause. All right, you need to pick 2 of them. Or you could pick one of mine and use one of yours, or you could use 2 of your reasons. It doesn't matter. So here's some examples for the other side. And that should say individuals. Individuals should always obey the established rules and laws because, again, we have that word because breaking them could lead to larger societal problems. All right, the idea that, you breaking the law might make others break the law who might not do it in a civil way, and then it could cause this big problem, or this particular law or rule might get replaced with something else that's even worse, or something like that. All right. Another idea that individuals should always obey the established rules and laws because there are legal or more appropriate ways to get changes made. All right, there are other ways to do it without breaking the law. And then a last idea is that individuals should always obey the established rules and laws because the risk of punishment does not outweigh the small possibility of a reward. So the idea that maybe civil disobedience doesn't work that well. And so if it's not going to change what it is you're trying to get changed, then that risk of punishment for breaking the law doesn't really outweigh that reward you could possibly receive. So again, for this, if you are choosing from things that I've provided you with here, you would need to pick two or any combination of mine or yours, but you need to make sure that you have two arguable, provable reasons to go with your answer to the question. This week would be a great time to send me an email. It wouldn't take long. You just send me an email, say, hey, Ms. Patrick, this is what I was going to use for my claim. And then I can give you immediate feedback on it. Now, once I'm gone and I'm not here, you can still send that same message, that same email, you could send it to Ms. Wallace, or in a live class, you could ask that same question to Ms. Davis or to Ms. Chambliss, because they're doing these same assignments. All right. So after that was technically step 2. Step 3 is about finding a source, because you have to find somebody or something else that backs up your claim. The last step of the planning is just kind of outlining, thinking through the 4 paragraphs that you have to write. What you need to do if you haven't already started it, and hopefully you have, you've gone to this Google form or this Google document that I have where it has all the steps listed out. This is just an image of step 4, but steps 1 through 3 are also listed in this document. To be able to type into the document, you have to either go to File and then you have to click Download As. You can just download it as a Word document, be able to save it to your computer. Or you can go to File, make a copy. If you use Google to save documents and type in, then that will allow you to be able to type in this document, okay? And so what step 4 is it's just saying, okay, I have 4 paragraphs I have to write. My first paragraph is going to be an introduction. Here are the things that need to be in an introductory paragraph. Let me list them here so that when it's time to write my essay, all I have to do is pull the ideas or sentences that I've put in these boxes, put them all together, and that will create a paragraph. I mean, I'll obviously have to go back and read the paragraph and make sure the sentences all flow together, but you'll have all the ideas that you need for your introductory paragraph. The same thing with your body paragraphs. It has a note here of all the things that need to be in a body paragraph. And each body paragraph is going to revolve around one of the reasons that you put into your claim. And then there's not an image of it here on the board, but the last part of this is your concluding paragraph, where it has a breakdown of the things that need to be in your concluding paragraph. And it has a place for you to just be able to type your notes and ideas so that when it comes time to write it, you'll have everything that you need. It just has to be beautifully put into words. All right, so that's the final step of this planning assignment for the week. You will have, by the end of this, you will have understood the prompt, you have written your claim, you have determined what article you want to use to help support your claim, and then you'll have organized your paragraph so that when you come back after Thanksgiving, all you have to do is put it together in words in an MLA formatted document and you will be done. All right. So what's next? Even though I'm not going to be teaching live on Thursday and